Bonjour, I'm Jennifer, your French teacher in the south of France. This is a lesson on 32 French reflexive verbs. You'll learn what reflexive verbs are and how to use them in the present and passé composé tenses. If you're viewing this lesson on YouTube, you may want to click on the link in the video description below to find more ways to practice using French reflexive verbs. Allez, c'est parti! Se brosser les dents. Se brosser les dents means to brush your teeth. You'll notice that the infinitive form of all of these verbs has the two-letter word se, S-E, in front of it. That's going to be true for all reflexive verbs in the infinitive form. However, when you conjugate the verbs, you'll see some changes. The se will change according to the subject of your sentence. One more thing to note is that with reflexive verbs and body parts, we're going to use the definite article le, la, or les. Pourquoi? Because by using a reflexive pronoun, you will have already indicated whose body part it is. In this case, whose teeth they belong to, right? Let me show you some examples. Je me brosse les dents. Je me brosse les dents means I am brushing my teeth. When je is the subject of the sentence, the se must change to me, M-E. Me is a reflexive pronoun, and it indicates that the subject of the sentence is doing the brushing of the teeth to himself. With reflexive verbs, always try to remember that there has to be a reflexive pronoun between the subject and the verb. So this is the sentence in the present tense. Here's what it looks like when we add negation. You put the ne before the pronoun and the pas after the verb. Je ne me brosse pas les dents. Je ne me brosse pas les dents. And I'll just go ahead and tell you now, all reflexive verbs use être as helping verb when you're putting them into the passé composé. So before I show you how to form these in the passé composé, here's a reminder of how to conjugate the verb être in the present tense. And you can repeat after me. Je suis, tu es, il est, elle est, on est, nous sommes, vous êtes, ils sont, elles sont. So here's the sentence in the passé composé. Je me suis brossé les dents. Je me suis brossé les dents means I brushed my teeth. Now notice that the me comes before suis, before the helping verb. And do you remember that rule that says when être is your helping verb, you have to make agreement in number and gender on the past participle? Okay, that is still a thing, but there's an important exception to remember when using reflexive verbs. Here it goes. When you have a body part, which is actually just a direct object, but when you have a body part following the past participle, you do not need to add e's and s's to make agreement between the subject and the past participle. This is just an exception to the rule, and I'll show you plenty of examples. Tu te douches. Tu te douches comes from the infinitive se doucher. Se doucher means to take a shower. Okay, so tu te douches. Tu te douches means you are taking a shower. It's in the present tense. When tu is the subject of the sentence, the reflexive pronoun is te, T-E. So te rhymes with je, so maybe that will help with pronunciation. Just don't say te. I have a lot of students who want to say tu te douches, and that's not the correct pronunciation. Tu te douches. Now, do you remember how to make this sentence negative? Where do the ne and the pas go? Tu ne te douches pas. Tu ne te douches pas. Excellent. You are not taking a shower. Now, how about in the passé composé? First, let's do it without negation. Tu t'es douché. Tu t'es douché. So we still have tu te, But now the verb être plays the role of helping verb. The pronoun always goes before the helping verb. Okay? And the te, in this example, is going to change to T apostrophe because you can't have te and es right next to each other. D'accord? Now, do you remember how to make it negative? Tu ne t'es pas douché. Tu ne t'es pas douché. You did not take a shower. That's right. The ne goes before the pronoun, and you must remember to put the pas before the past participle. And notice that I have an extra e in parentheses. This is just a reminder that tu might be a feminine subject, and if it is, I need to remember to make agreement in number and gender with the past participle because être is my helping verb. Here's another verb for you, se réveiller. Se réveiller means to wake up. Il se réveille. Il se réveille. He wakes up. Notice that when il is the subject of the sentence, the reflexive pronoun remains se. The same will be true for elle and on. I'll show you that in a minute. Now, can you make this sentence negative? Il ne se réveille pas. Il ne se réveille pas. He doesn't wake up. And in the passé composé without negation, il s'est réveillé. Il s'est réveillé. He woke up. And if we add negation to the passé composé, pay close attention because I'm going to give you a quiz in a few minutes. Il ne s'est pas réveillé. Il ne s'est pas réveillé means he didn't wake up. He did not wake up. And did you remember to put the pas before the past participle? If you did, bravo. Okay, here's another verb for you. Se lever. Se lever means to get up, not to be confused with se réveiller, which means to wake up. Elle se lève. Elle se lève. She is getting up. And with negation, elle ne se lève pas. Elle ne se lève pas. She is not getting up. Très bien. And in the passé composé, without negation, elle s'est levée. Elle s'est levée. She got up. Now there I had to add an extra e to make agreement with my feminine and singular subject. And notice that the reflexive pronoun is still se when the subject is elle. Okay, and now let's add some negation. Elle ne s'est pas levée. Elle ne s'est pas levée. She didn't get up. Okay, I think you're ready for another verb. Se laver les mains. Se laver les mains means to wash your hands. And this time we'll look at an example using on as the subject. On se lave les mains. On se lave les mains. We are washing our hands. Notice that even though I say our hands, we still use the definite article les in front of the body part. And when on is the subject, you should still use se as a reflexive pronoun. Okay, and now with negation, on ne se lave pas les mains. On ne se lave pas les mains. We are not washing our hands. And the passé composé without negation, on s'est lavé les mains. On s'est lavé les mains. We washed our hands. And listen, even if we mean for on to be plural or feminine, because you know on can mean we. All right, so on can be masculine, it can be feminine, it can be any of those. But even if we want on to mean we still don't have to make agreement on the past participle because of that body part rule that we talked about earlier. Okay, and now passé composé with negation. On ne s'est pas lavé les mains. On ne s'est pas lavé les mains. We did not wash our hands. Next example, se brosser les cheveux. Se brosser les cheveux is to brush your hair. Nous is going to be our subject. Nous brossons les cheveux. Nous brossons les cheveux. We are brushing our hair. When nous is the subject of the sentence, nous is also the reflexive pronoun. So you have two nous right next to each other. And this looks really weird until you get used to it, but it is correct. Okay? So now how do you make this sentence negative? Nous ne nous brossons pas les cheveux. Nous ne nous brossons pas les cheveux. We are not brushing our hair. And now the passé composé without negation. Nous nous sommes brossé les cheveux. Nous nous sommes brossé les cheveux. We brushed our hair. No agreement there. Again, we have the body part rule. And now passé composé with negation. Nous ne nous sommes pas brossé les cheveux. Nous ne nous sommes pas brossé les cheveux. We did not brush our hair. Okay? Here's another verb for you. Se peigner les cheveux. And remember, this whole list of verbs, because it seems like a lot, and actually I'm going to give you a lot more here in just a few minutes. This whole list can be found by following the link down in the video description. And you can use a Quizlet study set that I've prepared for you to practice and master all of these reflexive verbs. So, se peigner les cheveux means to comb your hair. Let's use vous as the subject. Vous vous peignez les cheveux. Vous vous peignez les cheveux. You are combing your hair. And notice that you have two vous right next to each other, just like we saw with nous. And the first vous is the subject, and the second one is the reflexive pronoun. Okay? And now with negation. Vous ne vous peignez pas les cheveux. Vous ne vous peignez pas les cheveux. You are not combing your hair. Now, can you do the passé composé without negation? Here it is. Vous vous êtes peigné les cheveux. Vous vous êtes peigné les cheveux. You combed your hair. No agreement again. That's the body part rule. And now, passé composé with negation. Vous ne vous êtes pas peigné les cheveux. Vous ne vous êtes pas peigné les cheveux. You did not comb your hair. Now, I just have two more examples to show you, and those are using plural il, I-L-S, and elle as subjects. Once you've seen those, I'll show you some more reflexive verbs in the infinitive form before I give you a quiz. So here's the next verb. Se maquiller. Se maquiller means to put on makeup. Elle se maquille. Elle se maquille, they are putting on makeup. And so you see that se is the reflexive pronoun to use when plural elle is your subject. And with negation, elle ne se maquille pas. Elle ne se maquille pas. They are not putting on makeup. And then in the passé composé without negation, elles se sont maquillées. Elles se sont maquillées. They put on makeup. Okay, there I had to make agreement. I had to add an E and an S to maquiller to make agreement with my plural and feminine subject. Okay. And here we go with negation. Elles ne se sont pas maquillées. Elles ne se sont pas maquillées. They did not put on makeup. And now just one more example for you. Se raser means to shave. So plural subject, il se rase. Il se rase. They are shaving. And with negation, il ne se rase pas. Il ne se rase pas. They are not shaving. And now with negation. Oh, this is without negation. Oh, look. Yeah, this is the passé composé without negation. Sorry. Ils se sont rasés. Ils se sont rasés. They shaved. So be sure to make agreement with the plural subject il and the past participle. Add an S. And your very last example will be to make this sentence negative. Ils ne se sont pas rasés. Ils ne se sont pas rasés. They did not shave. Okay, so if you stuck through that whole lesson, you're going to be a pro in no time, and I'm sure you're going to ace the quiz in a few minutes. Let me just show you some more really useful reflexive verbs in the infinitive form. And remember, you can practice and master these on the Quizlet study set that I've provided for you on the website. Here we go. S'habiller. S'habiller. Se déshabiller. Se déshabiller. Se promener. Se promener. se coucher, se coucher, se baigner, se baigner, se sécher les mains, se sécher les mains, s'amuser, s'amuser, se coiffer, se coiffer, se reposer, se reposer, se rappeler, se rappeler, se préparer pour un examen, se préparer pour un examen, se regarder dans la glace, se regarder dans la glace, s'endormir, s'endormir, se tromper, se tromper, se marier, se marier, se perdre, se perdre, se fâcher, se fâcher, se parfumer, se parfumer, se sentir bien, se sentir bien, s'asseoir, s'asseoir, s'excuser, s'excuser, se demander, se demander, s'appeler, s'appeler. Très bien. Ok, est-ce que vous êtes prêts? Est-ce que vous êtes prêts? You ready to take a quiz? All right, here we go. So just remember to put the video on pause to give yourself a chance to answer these questions, because pretty much right after I show you the question, I will be showing you the answer as well. Okay? Allez, numéro 1. The infinitive is se brosser les dents. Now, can you say the sentence in the present tense? Je me brosse les dents. Numéro 2. How about doing this one in the present tense with negation? Tu ne te douches pas. And this one, let's do in the passé composé without negation. Il s'est réveillé. Il ne s'est pas réveillé would be how you do it with negation. D'accord? Numéro 4. Let's do this one in the present tense. Elle se lève. Numéro 5. Let's do this present tense with negation. On ne se lave pas les mains. Numéro 6. Let's do this in the passé composé without negation. Nous nous sommes brossés les cheveux. No agreement, that's your body part rule. Numéro 7. Passé composé with negation. Vous ne vous êtes pas peigné les cheveux. Again, the body part rule, no agreement. Numéro 8. Se maquiller, present tense. Elle se maquille. Numéro 9. Present tense with negation. Il ne se rase pas. Numéro 10. Passé composé without negation. Je me suis habillée. Numéro 11. Passé composé with negation. Tu ne t'es pas déshabillé. Numéro 12. Present tense. Il se promène. Numéro 13. Present tense with negation. Elle ne se couche pas. Numéro 14. Passé composé without negation. On s'est baigné. Numéro 15. Passé composé with negation. Nous ne nous sommes pas séchés les mains. Body part rule, no agreement. Numéro 16. Present tense. Vous vous amusez. Numéro 17. Present tense with negation. Elle ne se coiffe pas. Numéro 18. Let's do this one in the passé composé without negation. Je me suis reposé. Numéro 19. Passé composé with negation. Tu ne t'es pas rappelé. Numéro 20. Present tense. Il se prépare pour un examen. Numéro 21. Present tense with negation. Elle ne se regarde pas. Numéro 22. Passé composé. Il s'est endormi. Numéro 23. Passé composé with negation. On ne s'est pas trompé. Numéro 24. Present tense. Nous nous marions. Numéro 25. Present tense with negation. Vous ne vous perdez pas. 26. Passé composé with negation. Ils ne se sont pas fâchés. Numéro 27. Present tense. Elle se parfume. Numéro 28. Present tense with negation. Je ne me sens pas bien. Numéro 29. Passé composé. Tu t'es assis or tu t'es assise. Did you know that past participle? Assis. Okay, it's really important to make agreement if your subject is feminine because it changes the way that the past participle is pronounced. Tu t'es assis for a masculine subject and tu t'es assise for a feminine subject. Numéro 30. Let's do this one. Passé composé with negation. Il ne s'est pas excusé. Numéro 31. Present tense. Elle se demande. And this is the last one. Let's do present with negation. Nous ne nous appelons pas. Nous ne nous appelons pas. And remember, je m'appelle means my name is or I call myself. I would say, je m'appelle Jennifer. These reflexive verbs, though, can also be used to say what people do to each other. So in this example, we do not call each other. That's what it means. We do not call each other, or we are not calling each other. D'accord? Très bien. Voilà. If you made it through this whole lesson, bravo. I'm very proud of you. Please do let me know if you have any comments or questions. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, whether you're teaching yourself French or learning at school and need a little extra help. I put out new videos every week. And also check the links in the video description below to see all of the ways you can connect with and support Love Learning Languages. Merci beaucoup et à très bientôt. Au revoir.